What's good, y'all, man? This video is going to be somewhat of a rant because the IWC can be so unbearable at times. I truly mean that. I mean, it's always going to be something. You can't please everybody, and that's just the nature of life. But some of y'all, I just be trying to figure out what show do y'all be watching? What programming do y'all be watching? Were you around during the Vince McMahon era? During the dark days? We're not talking about some of the entertaining stuff. I'm talking about the dark days when you're just watching just slop on television. Matches that made no sense. Storylines that made no sense. Things that were supposed to be funny was actually hella cringe. Were y'all watching then? And I be trying to figure that out because the way some of y'all be just so quick to say, oh, this new era, the Triple H era is horrible, is garbage. I just be confused. And I'm not gonna sit up here and say Triple H is perfect, because I don't think some of the booking decisions he's done as being in charge has been, I wouldn't personally agree with it. But nobody's booking is gonna be perfect because it's a subjective thing. It just depends on what story they're trying to tell. But now, some of y'all are actively sitting here saying WrestleMania is going to suck this year. Now, you're probably wondering, where did I get that idea from? Well, obviously Twitter, a cesspool. But I recently checked out a video from Wrestlemania talking about why fans are losing faith in WWE. And I have to show you this comment. This is a comment that when I read it, I couldn't really truly believe that someone actually typed all this out and believed what they were saying. And after they responded back to me, that's when I knew there's no saving them. There's no hope to even have a logical debate here, because it's just going to be someone just hating something before they even actually see it. Let me show you this. And this is a common theme that I see on Twitter about this WrestleMania build and how people feel that this build this year is not that good, even though we literally just started to the road to WrestleMania, and how things are, not going to be good this year for WrestleMania, even though we only have one match listed. So this is the comment. I want y'all to see this. WrestleMania is definitely going to suck. No Rock. One main event is pure garbage. Biggest stars will be in meaningless stories. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible, right? So because we don't have The Rock, which obviously a lot of people were looking forward to seeing what The Rock was going to do this year. They have been teasing it since last year, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be there this year. We could be wrong on that, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like he's going to be involved in WrestleMania this year. That's fine. I think there's plenty of other stories you can tell that people will be interested in that doesn't involve The Rock. I'm going to just be honest with you. The next situation, they're obviously talking about Jey Uso versus Gunther. You may not like it. You may think it's pure garbage. I just want you to know, the people that's going to be in that stadium, that arena, they're going to be going crazy and all behind Jey Uso. Simple as that. Gunther is the perfect villain, the ultimate villain. And all those people that's going to be in that arena are going to be eating and supporting Jey, because that's the story they're trying to tell. You may not think it's a good match, or you may think it's garbage. Jey winning the Royal Rumble may be a thing that you didn't like. Guess what? You are in the minority. The majority of the people that are paying thousands of dollars are going to want to see Jey win. I am one of those people. I'm not paying to go, but I'd want to see Jey finish his story. We've watched him be a tag team specialist to where he is now. All because of the Bloodline story that so many people love. Now, all of a sudden, they don't want him to beat Gunther. Wasn't it just a few years ago when it was Jey versus Roman at SummerSlam, and a lot of people were saying WWE needs to pull the trigger and have Jey be the one to dethrone him? Now that's not the case. Oh, okay. And this last point right here. Biggest stars will be in meaningless storylines, and it's going to be terrible. Meaningless storylines, huh? Huh. So, John Cena and CM Punk, that's a meaningless storyline. They can go that route. Or maybe John Cena and Roman Reigns, that's a meaningless storyline. They could go that route. Or John Cena and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk. All these guys have history with each other. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, that's gonna be meaningless. That's gonna be pointless. Like, what are we talking about? Or Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns, that's a rumored match. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, that's a rumored match. But these are gonna all be meaningless and pointless, right? What? I'd just be so confused. Because you can't be watching the product and thinking that. What are we talking about? Like, I'm so confused by that logic. That it's going to be pointless. None of this is going to matter. Then what have you been watching? Legitimately, what have you been watching? Because obviously, these are storylines that people are really going to be invested in. And I'm quite confused on how someone can honestly sit there and say that, oh, they're not going to care. It's going to be meaningless and pointless. The biggest star is going to be in pointless feuds. What? What? Okay. So I'll respond. Damn, bro. The Rock is not the be-all, end-all of WWE. And we are still in February. Let things build up first before you start saying it's going to suck. And someone else responded, well, he was the reason there was hype all last WrestleMania season. Cold facts. The Rock not being there doesn't mean the show's going to suck. If you think because The Rock is not going to be involved, WrestleMania is going to be trash, what are you watching? What have you been checking out weekly on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown? If that's the case. Because he hasn't been there that much. We've been invested in other storylines outside of The Rock because that's what they've been focusing on. If The Rock can be there, awesome. If he can't be there, that's fine too. The show will still go on, and I do think they will put on a good show without him. Obviously, him being there elevates things, of course. But if he's not there, it's okay. We still got Roman Reigns, still got Cody Rhodes, still got John Cena, still got CM Punk, still got Gunther, still got Jey, still got Rhea. Like, we still have all these other potential matches in setups. Still got Drew. I'm confused. He's not the be-all and end-all. Because if we're going with that logic, then there's a lot of WrestleManias he wasn't involved in. And guess what? They were still pretty good. A lot of people like WrestleMania 39, and he wasn't involved in it. So let's not down the roster that's there day in, day out to just say, oh, well, he's not involved, so it's not going to be as good. Let's not do that. So he responds, bro, I've been watching wrestling since 96, 97. Same here, bro. Probably a little bit before you. I've been trying highly accurate, especially recently. I don't know what he meant to say there, on most things. I can already see this WrestleMania season is going to be a huge letdown. If I'm wrong, I'll happily admit it, but wrestling has been hot garbage since WrestleMania 40, and that's not likely to change with Triple H in charge. He's a horrendous booker. And this is the rhetoric I see most of the time on indie IWC. This right here. There are even some people saying, oh, Vince needs to come back so he can book the shows. No. What are y'all? This is why it's hard to take people seriously in the community, because Y'all just be saying shit. It's okay to have an opinion, but some of y'all opinions, when you really break it down, it don't make a lick of sense. It don't. Just because you've been watching since 9697 don't mean that what you said isn't any less idiotic. How do you know something's going to be some way when you don't even know what they have set up? They only have one match listed. And because you don't care for Jey Uso going against Gunther, it's going to be the whole build-up is going to be washed? What? If you're a fan like you say you are, there's been a lot of feuds and build-ups that weren't as good as they should have been, but guess what? The show ended up being pretty fantastic. Like, we got to stop acting like the Attitude Era didn't have bad shit. Shit that didn't make sense. Shit that was cringe. Shit that didn't even age well. You can go back now and watch some of those shows, some of those pay-per-views, and you're like, this didn't age well. This, in hindsight, this didn't land. And the same thing here. It's never going to be perfect. You can't appease everyone, but we got to stop this notion that just because The Rock's not involved, the show's going to be ass. Or just because your favorite guy didn't win the Royal Rumble, now the show's going to be ass. We only have one match listed. We still got to go through the Elimination Chamber. This is why I say the IWC, you can't take them seriously, bro. You cannot take most people in this space seriously because of shit like this. People have selective memory. People sit up there and don't remember when certain builds weren't good, or they were suspecting that, this build's not going to be good, WrestleMania's going to be trash, only for them to enjoy it along the way. It happens all the time. That's why I be like so confused. Like, I just be like, bro, y'all literally just be saying shit. Y'all just be yapping. Y'all do. I think we're in much better hands when Triple H is involved in creative than we ever have been in recent years with Vince, bro. We can agree to disagree on that. That's fine. Cool. If you love the Vince era, cool, whatever. But right now, as it stands, we don't know how the show is going to play out. So how about we just hold off on people thinking it's going to be dog shit or mid or whatever and just wait for the shit to play out. And if it's been horrible, if it's been horrendous, then why watch it? That's what I will always go back to. There's a difference between me and someone who just watches it for the love of it or for the fun. I get paid to watch it, right? And at one point, I wasn't watching it. And I had the opportunity to get paid to do it, but I just didn't care. I wasn't as invested. Now, I have been invested for the past few years, and I enjoy to watch it. I enjoy to watch the show. If I wasn't doing YouTube, and this is a fact for me, before I even record myself, at one point I stopped watching wrestling, then I got back into it. Then at another point I stopped again because I wasn't liking it. I just wasn't that interested, and I got back into it. It's as simple as that. So if you are watching it for the free, you love wrestling, but at some point you've just reached your limit, you think Triple H is a horrendous booker. You think it's going to be trash this year for WrestleMania. You don't care for Jey. You're done. Then just don't watch it. But here's the thing about this, guys. They're going to still watch it. Even though they think it's horrendous and awful and all this other stuff, you're still going to watch it. You're still going to watch it. You are. So, like I said, all of this is just to yap away. The IWC, some of y'all will never fail to amaze me because just when I think I can't see something so dumb, so idiotic, a weird take, people with selective memory, now all of a sudden, before we even get a full card breakdown, WrestleMania 41 is going to suck. Alright, bro. But comment down below, let me know. How do y'all feel about the recent comments from people in the IWC talking about WrestleMania is going to be trash, WrestleMania is going to be mid, without The Rock it's going to be trash? Do y'all agree with those sentiments at this present moment, even though we only have one match listed? Or do y'all feel like people are overreacting and the IWC is doing what they always do, overreact, bitch, complain, and moan about something only for them to ultimately give praise later on, to then forget that they were bitching and complaining and moaning about something and then do the same thing again and repeat the fucking cycle? Y'all let me know. But I appreciate all the love, support. Road to 150K. Appreciate y'all kicking it with me. See y'all next one. Peace.